Hello, we are in A Course in Miracles workbook for students, part 2 of the workbook, section 7. Section 7, what is the Holy Spirit? Lesson 286, one of my most favorite lessons, and they are all my favorite. The hush of heaven holds my heart today. Father, how still today, how quietly do all things fall in place. This is the day that has been chosen as the time in which I come to understand the lesson that there is no need that I do anything. In you is every choice already made. In you has every conflict been resolved. In you is everything I hope to find already given me. Footnote 98. These three ideas, that every choice is already made, every conflict resolved, and everything I hope to find already given me, assume the Course's theory of time, that we but undertake a journey that is already over. Your peace is mine, my heart is quiet and my mind at rest. Your love is heaven and your love is mine. The stillness of today will give us hope that we have found the way and traveled far along it to a wholly certain goal. 99. If we do enjoy a day of stillness, in other words, this will be a sign of spiritual progress, giving us hope that we have found the way and traveled far along to a wholly certain goal. Today we will not doubt the end that God Himself has promised us. We trust in Him and in ourself, who still is one with Him. Now I will read the commentary by Robert Perry and Alan Watson. This is the practice suggestion by Robert Perry. The prayer for this lesson is without a doubt one of the most beautiful prayers in the Course. I call it the I need do nothing prayer. It induces a wonderful state of rest and peace. I recommend taking a chunk of time today, 15 to 30 minutes, and praying this prayer over and over again, slowly and meaningfully, sinking more deeply into it each time. Don't close your eyes and zone out after the first time. You'll be grateful for the experience if you stay with it. To aid in this process, I've broken down the prayer into 3 parts and have put some extra lines after each line of prayer to draw out its meaning. And I think what I'll do is read that part after I read Alan Watson's commentary. So let me read Alan Watson's commentary, and I'll kind of lead us into the meditation with the prayer by Robert Perry, A Day of Doing Nothing. So the commentary, how quietly do all things fall in place. I love that line. That is what realization is like. Things just quietly fall into place and there is nothing to do. This is the day that has been chosen as the time in which I come to understand the lesson that there is no need that I do anything. Several years ago in a study group, we read a section that described the state of knowledge. Someone asked if it is possible for an individual to attain this, or do we all have to do it together? Is everybody waiting for me? Am I waiting for everybody else? The leader, I'll call him Ted, began to discuss Jesus and how we are all in this together. Then Jesus isn't in this state of knowledge yet either, is he? Said the questioner. I injected myself into the discussion. Yes, he is. Jesus has passed from perception to knowledge, and so have you. We are at home in God, dreaming of exile. We are all already in heaven. Actually, we never left. The story is already over. We're at the end, looking back and remembering. We're living a rerun, someone said. The fact that Jesus has already done it is the guarantee that we all will do it. We all will experience what he has experienced because we really all are one mind. We are really all one mind, Ted said. This is the reason that I need do nothing. We all continue to make the error that we have to accomplish something. We think that there is this great mountain to climb, the mountain of enlightenment or perfection. We may believe Jesus has climbed it along with others like Buddha, but we think we're still at the bottom looking up. We are intimidated by how hard it is going to be, awed by all the work that has to be done, discouraged by the thought of how far we have to go to get there. These thoughts are simply the way the ego tries to handle the situation when you finally get a glimpse of the promised land, of the realm of knowledge that God intends for you to live in. The ego can accept the idea that return is necessary because it can so easily make the idea seem difficult. Yet the Holy Spirit tells you that even return is unnecessary, because what never happened cannot be difficult. However, you can make the idea of return both necessary and difficult. Yet it is surely clear that the perfect need nothing, and you cannot experience perfection as a difficult accomplishment, because that is what you are. Excuse me. The ego tries to convince you that what you have seen is something you lack instead of something you already have. In you is everything I hope to find already given me. You are what you have been looking for. The Christ nature is not something you have to develop. You don't have to slave over the ego trying to change it into a Christ. That simply isn't possible. If you think you have to become the Christ, you have put yourself in a situation where you can't get there from here. And that is exactly where the ego wants you to be. The Christ nature is who you really are. You just don't remember it. It is already inside you. It is you. You think you are something else, but you aren't. That is the illusion the ego has cast. You think the ego is you. You think that all this awful stuff, all this miserable little worm nature, this weakling, this sniveling coward is what you are. That is not you. The ego is not you. The ego is not anything and not anywhere. It is just a thought you have about yourself, a thought that is wholly false. Christ is the only part of you that has reality and truth. When you feel as if you have to struggle, when you feel as if you have to make all kinds of difficult choices, then you are seeing yourself as an ego at the bottom of the mountain looking up. When you see yourself as the Christ, there is nothing to do. Our only problem is thinking we have a problem. The thought that I don't have it yet is the problem. We need to be enlightened from thinking we need to be enlightened. All that has to change is that thought, and the thought changes nothing, does nothing, because we are always already enlightened, always already happy, always already perfect. God created us that way, and we can't change it. All we can do is forget it and pretend we are something else. In today's moment of quiet, we can taste the flavor of that stillness in which there is nothing to do and nowhere to go. The stillness of today will give us hope that we have found the way and traveled far along it to a wholly certain goal. We can taste the reality of the end even in the midst of our traveling. We can know the goal is wholly certain and even inevitable. Today we will not doubt the end which God Himself has promised us. We trust in Him and in ourself, who still is one with Him. And now to introduce our meditation before I read the What is the Holy Spirit section, I will read Robert Perry's prayer, A Day of Doing Nothing. Father, how still today. Let me imagine a day of perfect stillness in which everything is resting, everything is at peace, glowing with a soft radiance. How quietly do all things fall in place. Normally life seems to be a chaotic jumble of conflicting elements, but today all things have quietly fallen into their proper place. As I look out on the world, everything is exactly where it belongs. This is the day that has been chosen as the time in which I come to understand the lesson that there is no need that I do anything. This is the day you have appointed for me to finally realize I need do nothing. In you is every choice already made. This is why I need do nothing. In you, all those hard choices that face me have already been made. Let me feel myself resting in you, no more difficult decisions to make. In you has every conflict been resolved. I feel constantly surrounded by conflict, trying to resolve one while hoping that the others will not spring out of control. But in you, all my conflicts are forever behind me. In you is everything I hope to find already given me. I am always seeking, striving to find the happiness and safety that I lack. But in you, I can rest from seeking, for I have found in you I have everything. Your peace is mine. You are totally free from choice, conflict, and seeking. Your peace must be limitless, unfathomable. Yet because I am in you, your peace is mine. My heart is quiet and my mind at rest. In your peace, with no need to do anything, I am totally at rest, completely filled. Your love is heaven, and your love is mine. What could be more heavenly than being loved by you? And I am loved by you. You love me with all that you are. I need only accept your love, and heaven is mine. The hush of heaven holds my heart today. Thank you so much for joining with me in that meditation. And now we will read the section of What is the Holy Spirit. Please read it in its entirety today. We are on paragraph 3, reading sentences 2 and 3. The Holy Spirit understands the means you made by which you would attain what is forever unattainable. And if you offer them to Him, He will employ the means you made for exile to restore your mind to where it truly is at home. And this is the commentary by Alan Watson. What are the means you made by which you would attain what is forever unattainable? The unattainable is, of course, separation, or life that is separate from God. The means we made to attain this goal include our bodies, the illusions of choices, which are alternatives to God and to love, fear, attack, conflict, denial, special relationships, sights and sounds, and the whole phenomenal world of perception. The Holy Spirit understands all of these things perfectly. He knows what they are, how they work, and why we made them. And if you offer them to Him, He will employ the means you made for exile to restore your mind to where it truly is at home. This is the miracle. Everything we made to exile ourselves from God can be used to restore our minds to their real home. But for that to happen, we must offer them to Him. He is the bridge between what we made and what we are. He is the great transformer of perception. He can completely reverse the purpose of everything we made in madness and use it to restore us to sanity if we give those things to Him. And so we need to bring all of these things to Him, asking Him to use them for His purposes rather than the purpose for which we made them. Give Him our bodies, give Him our special relationships, give Him our power of decision, give Him our attack thoughts, our defenses, our very denial. He can even use denial to deny the denial of truth. Give Him our perceptions, our eyes and ears. Give Him our whole world and everything in it. He will not take them away from us. He will take them and use them to restore us to heaven. Thank you so much for joining with me in this beautiful lesson 286. The hush of heaven holds my heart today. I love you. Thank you for joining with me.